I'm actually excited to have this conversation. I'm having a conversation with 3 leaders that decided to flip the script, decided to take action, decided to make decisions for what's best for them, their families, and their team members, and decided to really live what a true broker is, being independent mortgage brokers. Independent. You make your own decisions, you make your own choices, and you do whatever you need to do to take care of your business. And these guys did that. I think, Pablo, you did that back in May. You guys did it about, how long has it been?
About a year.
About a year ago. And we're having a conversation here today, talk about their experience. But before I do so, I would like for the team to put up our promise. Promise number 3, full pricing transparency, no surprises. Because when I think about our conversation today and having conversations, some of the partners that have made the decision to flip the script and really choose us versus other lenders, a lot of it has to do with pricing sometimes, but a lot of it also has to do with service and making sure that the clients are taken care of, whether it's from a tech standpoint, pricing, operations, and we know for sure what it means to deliver to the client, and now our brokers are getting to experience that. So it's our commitment to all of you to be able to deliver on what we promise, and I'm excited to have this conversation today. All right, so we'll start with question number 1. What motivated you to flip to Rocket Pro? Maybe Pablo will go to you.
All right, so I mean, there's a layer of different things that happened, but you know, I've been in the industry since 1997, and in 2016 is when I came across UWM at a NAM event. Really, you know, liked everything that they were pitching and selling and everything. And you know, fast forward to about a year and a half ago, you know, I just started noticing pricing discrepancies, unfair treatment between different broker shops and different things, and also the big change that they made with this whole partner point system, and also you know, quarterly as a broker shop, you were able to get certain rewards at the end of each quarter if you hit certain metrics, and little by little, you know, they just started moving things around that and making the metrics achievable. The points. Each quarter that the loan officers got was just enough to price maybe 2 loans better, you know, and it was to the point where pricing these loans out wasn't even, I mean, Rocket was beating them in the dust. I continued, when the ultimatum happened, I continued to have Rocket logins. I'm not sure how I had them, but I had them.
Maybe we just let you have them. So
yeah, I'm sure you did.
Look at pricing and get pissed every
and
time.
I'm like, shit, they're off by 3/4 or 1% in some cases. You know, I started talking to management. I'm a loyal guy. I don't bounce around. I try to work with whatever partner I partner up with. Like, if we have issues, let's work them out. We'll get through them. That's what we do. You know, running away every single time, you're going to end up in a lot of different places without, you know, giving the place you're at an opportunity. But anyhow, so I made an appointment with Matt Ishbia, flew out. Kind of, you know, it's a pain in the ass to fly out here. I do it for people I like because they're amazing.
Hey, I have to touch on this. It's not about where, but I think it does also, because this is downtown Detroit, beautiful building.
Oh, it is much beautiful.
Rocket has made incredible things done in the city of Detroit, so it's a lot different.
It's a lot better, trust me. But
all Michigan, but it's different.
Yeah, so flew out there, talked to him. He honestly, you know, I spent all that time, gave me 10 minutes, kind of blew me off. So then I started dealing with the other person that was in between us, and really got nowhere, and just kind of kept insisting, like, hey, you guys got to do something. And it's no surprise, you know, we see what the pricing is. It's not a secret. Even, you know, we even see that. Our allos were doing less submissions, and this is not good for our business model. We need to close loans. We need to close loans, right? And moving away from our main partner was hurting us as well. And they're all like, why don't you lower your fees? Why don't you do this? And I'm like, no, we have a model. We're going to stick to our model. So Long story short, the time and date came. We consulted with the majority of our loan officers. Everyone was ready, and it was just time. And we drafted a really great resignation letter, letting them know that, hey, the time's come. We're terminating the relationship. And I knew it was going to be a big deal. My friend Andrew Berman, I don't know where he's at, somewhere in here. He wrote the story.
Right there in the back.
He wrote the story, and yeah, it was a little rough, getting through everything, but I must say that the feeling that we have now is like, being under their control. I felt like I had a foot in my throat the whole time, and I couldn't make moves. I'm doing speeches, and I'm getting texts from the leadership. You need to say this, you need to say that. I'm like, I'm not your puppet. I'm not here to work for you. And ultimately, the decision was because I'm a loan officer first and foremost. That's how I started in the business. I get it. I'm in the trenches. I've been there with you. I'm there with you. I understand how it is to close 30, 40 loans a month. I've done all that. And I don't care what's happening between two big wholesale lenders or what the drama is. My priority is to my loan officers. And ultimately, I felt like that was the right decision. Everything pointed at that was the right decision. I met with the leadership at Rocket. Nothing but professional and amazing people. And it was just a natural, easy move. And now I feel like I have this sense of freedom moving away from them. And I talked to some of the leaders there, like some of the big CEOs, from other shops, and they have that same foot in their throat. And I'm like, hey, I'm happy, I'm done. I'm out. I'm out of jail. And that's how I really felt. And that's kind of my story in a nutshell.
Hey, tell us how you feel, Pablo.
Dan.
I had a feeling if Pablo went first,
Hey,
we wouldn't
yeah,
have to say
for
anything.
Yeah.
What about
Good
you,
talk.
Bo?
So a little bit different setup for us. So George and I opened our company a few years ago. Naturally, we left retail mortgage, and so when we brought our team of, a smaller team of 10 people, they trust you and they're following you, and you're going into this whole new world. We kind of stuck with what we knew. I had been at a Nexa previously, and so I kind of stuck with the relationships I knew so that I wouldn't be, swinging too much and creating some concern for them. But for us, over time, it really came down to as a smaller company, you have to start paying attention to some of the financial aspects that really made a big difference for us. And those, obviously, I know we'll probably hit on a few of them in a little bit, but you start getting into the credit reporting, right? The credit upgrades, the decreasing rate environment, and kind of staring down that EPO with your team. And even though we haven't had to take advantage of it, it's just knowing from a security standpoint as we were looking and going, okay, what decisions can we make proactively as we scale? But probably a bigger side of it was the trust side. It was 2 years, I believe, before we made the move, and I could go back and see 2 years of the same consistent messages from the team. RA Matt French, incredible, his manager Dan. I could keep going up, but it was like a group of friends, and so I can remember thinking the initial group on that call was, I don't know, like 7 people on a call. I'm like, we're not that important. I don't know who they're trying to impress here. And then you just keep going, and every single time we had a check-in, it was this whole team. And it got to the point where we looked and went, we can trust this group. We need to make the change, and we know they'll be there for us. So it's been a incredible move for us, and I wish we'd have done it earlier.
Yeah, for such a large organization, Rocket makes it personal and makes it family, and we definitely took some time.
Yeah.
But the rates, I mean, people talk, realtors talk. You put a CD at a closing, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on with this pricing?" And it made it, just the reputation. What Rocket said they would do, they did, and then some. So yeah, we benefited. We just should have done it earlier, because you get all this free merch at other places.
Well, we're excited to have you guys for sure. And look, but let's just, there's a lot of brokers that probably are in your shoes before the switch, and they're thinking about like, hey, well, I want to work with Rocket. I'm really worried about the transition. And there's a lot of challenges really sometimes when you're having a transition. And I know you guys had 10 of those when you did it. Pablo, you're at, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, in May you were at 420 loan officers. Today you're at 500 loan officers. So really when you think about it back in May when you made the decision, or you guys made it a year ago, like what are some of the challenges that you faced, and what are some of the things that you did or we did to help you smooth those challenges? And how's it look today for you guys? Maybe we'll start with you guys. Bo,
Yeah,
Joe.
I mean, the support on the transition, because no one wants change, right? It's just you get comfortable, you get complacent, and the training that we got, the support from Matt and his team were amazing, and we just really, we're calling, we're getting texts, we're getting communication is just like off the charts, great, and the platform's good, and things that we've seen that we maybe gave some input on changes, it's being heard and things are changing within Rocket. So that's a nice thing too. If you're sharing something that could help everybody, they're going to take it seriously. So
Awesome.
Yeah, I would agree. It was there's no good time, and there was the fear factor, and then you've got employees that are just constantly throwing, stuff back into the same pipeline, and eventually we just had to say, we're not going to go another year and talk about doing it. It was time to actually give it a test run, and within a few weeks, I mean, we were probably hopefully not calling our AE quite as much, and now you just within months you felt like an expert at it. So I can't really speak too much of the challenges other than mentally, when's the right time and what keeps you from doing it. Finally, we said enough's enough. It's the right business model for us to rip the Band-Aid.
That's awesome.
All right, Mike, I must say your team was amazing. I mean, the whole transition from, the initial time that we met, my amazing AE, Tim, is right here who kind of made everything happen, so I just want to give her credit. But I mean, it was when I met with you, I knew you were a genuine person. You looked at me in the eyes, and I knew that I could count on you. And that's one of the reasons I came out, just to sniff things out and make sure that, moving 420 people is not easy, right? And getting all the logins. And I think we had extensive conversations with you and your team, and try to anticipate all the issues we're going to run into. And I think you also dedicated a team of people to start the whole transition process. And yeah, it was a little rough just because the amount of people we had, and transitioning, and that was the first phase. Second phase was just getting everyone used to the systems and the operations and everything. And that was about 6 months ago, and now we've been closing loans, and I think every month it's been escalating more and more. I think we closed 20-something million, 25 million, and
you continue.
And it continues to. It could be as people are adopting the technology and tools. And so anyone thinking about making the move or transitioning, for me, I'm very happy. Let's just say, and Rocket, the folks at Rocket have been nothing professional, and this is it was scary at first because we get comfortable where we're at, and but when you're guided by your gut and your instincts to do the right thing, and me and my team felt that this was the right move. I mean, you can't go astray. It feels scary at first and everything, but at the end, we're happy I'm here, and we're closing loans, and that's a memory behind now. Now we can just plan forward and move ahead and continue growing. And since we left, I think we had 420 LOs. Now we have, close to 500. So we have people still wanting. And one of the things that join us, but one of the things I realize is that folks, they look at, you're with Rocket or you're with UWM. Like, they're not really looking at that. They want to look at a broker shop where they can land, have access to great tools, resources, a great experience, and that's something that we deliver. And to me, that's superseding any decision we made partnering with UWM or Rocket or whatever, because they look at the platform first and okay, you guys are with Rocket, great, and our leadership must be making a good decision if this is the move we're making. And I think that all of our team will support us in that decision.
I want to touch on that. I have a lot of conversations with brokers, and sometimes I hear hey, look, my loan officers want to work with this lender or this lender. And in my mind, and maybe I should speak about it a lot more than I usually do, it's in my mind, I'm like, they're picking the lender. They're not picking you. What value are you providing for them? What kind of platform are you giving them? And ultimately, if you're running a broker shop or you're running a business, you want your people to be invested in you, and they'll follow you wherever you go. And I mean, to Pablo's point, they were at 420 loan officers back in May. It took them 30 days to really get things going, but they're at 500. We were just talking backstage. They're going to be almost at 600 by the end of the year. So it's not about the lender, although I would love to say, hey, it's about Rocket, but really it's about what you build and what value do you bring, and how are you building your business, and what support do you give them?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's well said. When we're trying to differentiate ourselves from the competition, the first thing I'm saying is I have a network of lenders. I'm not loyal to them, I'm loyal to you. Just Rocket's been earning it. They've been giving the best service, the best pricing, but if all of a sudden something changes, I'm going to where the best deal is for my client, and that's what they deserve. So, but
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
All right, so you guys made the move. You've been with us a year now, 5 months. What are some of the tools or products that you're using with Rocket Pro, and how is it helping your business? I know you mentioned Credit Upgrade, which I believe it's one of the most unique things that we offer the broker industry, but I would love to hear from you about it, or maybe any other tools as well.
Yeah, I'd definitely speak to that. I mean, we've, go far enough back for subprime, and so to spend a lot of time in credit repair. Like I feel like we've had that in our DNA for many, many years. And so to have a company that, it's tough to spend that time when you're also out trying to grow business that's, going to be able to close immediately and balance it. So I love that aspect of it because I think that's a customer that you invest time in, you want to get them to the finish line. Nobody's giving them advice. And then you've got Rocket there to say, hey, we're going to help. We have a team. We're going to cover the cost. Mm-hmm. And when you get that customer to the finish line, that's a customer for life. Yeah. That's somebody that never thought they'd be in a home or weren't going to be able to dig out and refinance. And so it's definitely one of my favorite aspects would be the credit repair.
And the cost savings on the credit reports
Correct.
to your P&L, I mean, tremendous. I mean, people are, don't want to have to charge someone up front for a credit report and go through that. So maybe you're gaining more business, your P&L's thanking you. And then the credit rescore is quick. It's not like you're waiting a week or 10 days. I mean, within hours sometimes I get back, do these 3 things, and your score gets up above 620 or whatever you need to do to get it where you need it to go. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, everything you guys said, we've been enjoying the rapid rescores. I think they're awesome. I mean, they're expensive, and a lot of loan officers shy away from using that because, number one, we have to pay out of pocket. Not sure why that rule was ever invented, and we can't really charge the customer. So that's huge because now you can do it in every transaction. And even if you're at a 740 FICO and they're putting a low down payment and you're faced with MI, bringing them to 760 is going to lower the MI payment, believe it or not, by 20, 30 bucks a month, whatever. So that's huge in itself. But for me also, everything you guys said, so I'm not going to repeat that. But the other huge thing is the name, Rocket. Like no one knows who UWM is. Like, what the hell is that shit, Rocket.
Hey.
Rocket, yeah.
He promised he's not going to do that.
I want to talk a lot of shit, but I'm going to keep it professional because we're a professional bunch. But Rocket has a prestigious name. People know about it, and I always add in wholesale, because everyone likes the word wholesale. So I'm Rocket Wholesale, which beats Rocket Retail, right? Because we're going to dominate.
Hopefully Austin Nemec is not back there. Austin, are you still here?
You can plug their...
You didn't hear Pablo say that.
But Rocket Wholesale, I mean, it's just people know the name, it's recognized, and it's a trusted brand. And they sponsor the Super Bowl, golf, all these things that just bring that brand awareness to it, and it just makes you look like an elite loan officer. That's how I feel when I say UW. I'm like, what is that? Is that like a trash company or what is it? But I don't know. And so far it's been great, and I'm sure they're going to keep adding tools or consulting with us. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing I'm really enjoying is that they listen and they take action, and that's very important because that's how we work together in a true partnership to make better system, make better processes, and at the end deliver a great experience to our consumers, because that's really what we want to do. Give them the best pricing. I don't know how UWM thinks that pricing doesn't matter. Like, when did pricing doesn't matter? I drive by Costco, people are in line trying to save a nickel on gas per gallon. I mean, we're talking about interest rates. So we want to deliver the best interest rates, and we want to partner with the customer, our wholesale partners that are giving us that, are delivering us the best rates that we can pass through to our borrowers, and that's important to us.
Who's here is out of California? Raise your hand. See, that Costco analogy didn't really work. Gas in Michigan is like $2.50. Oh. California is like...
We're like $5, or $6
fine.
Depending where you go.
Like, you hear a lot, there's a lot of narrative out there about, hey, you don't know what's going to happen to you when you flip to Rocket. You don't understand. There's all these false myths and stuff. You guys did the flip. Looking back, what is the one thing you learned that you heard back then? You're like, It's absolutely not true. Maybe I'll go to you, George.
It's a good question.
Shy?
Yeah, no, I've never been accused of that. But we had a dynamite AE at the previous garbage company, you say?
Yeah, I like that. We agreed on that, but Pablo.
Yeah, we really did. We had a great AE there, and I really thought that those shoes were going to be too big for, that was maybe self-inflicted, but I'm not bragging, but I told Matt I would give him another shout out. His team, Matt French, he's just been there every step of the way, and it's just, it is a partnership. I mean, I'm very impressed by the level of service and attention, and it's a friendship. He comes down to North Carolina for our meetings. We have quarterly meetings, and he's flying down to see us. So it's been really impressive.
Agree.
Get out on your boat.
Yeah. I would say probably we had a couple realtors that were a little standoffish with some of our high performers. Maybe something didn't get to the finish line, right? A pre-approval letter went out. We heard all of that, and that really, we allowed that noise for longer than we should have. And so for me, that's been the biggest myth, is because at any lender, it's going to be as good as what you put into it and threw it against the wall. And so if we're doing our job and doing it up front, we've had no issues. Mm-mm. But it was definitely a concern because we heard that and we let that maybe stay in our mind a little too long, and couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, there's going to be issues anywhere. There's always going to be a couple things that pop up, but the support we have and we have had when we need it, even at the finish line, is always there. That's probably the biggest one for me.
That's awesome. Good to hear. Pablo.
Yeah. So for me, the biggest crock of shit I've heard, and this was from UWM, was that Rocket steals clients, right? And I knew that in 2016, when they started spilling, marketing this agenda, that it was they were full of shit. I've been doing loans since 1997. The minute you close a loan, it's public record. Your customer gets bombarded with everyone trying to refinance them and try to do their loan. So I'm thinking, like, why are they even pointing at Rocket when everyone's trying to market the customer, right? I knew early on, because I was a purchase loan officer, that if I wanted to retain my relationship with my borrowers, I had to be in front of them. I had to call them and I had to do a lot of the great things that a lot of the panelists said earlier with, follow-ups, birthday calls and all that stuff, so that I can retain them. That's my job, because they're getting constantly mail, they're getting email, they're getting calls. I mean, we all get them too, right? The people that own property. So I'm like, yeah, whatever, and that's one of the things. So, I had been working with Rocket before the whole thing happened, the whole ultimatum, and I knew how they operated. I got to see it. I worked with Tim, and I just knew it was just a bunch of fool. But a lot of loan officers don't know better, so they fall for that. They think like, oh yeah, they're actively doing this and that. In fact, I get emails from them letting us know that, hey, this is one of your customers. We're gonna kick it back to you or whatever. And they have those guardrails in place, and that's what a lot of people don't understand, right? So that's the biggest myth, because that's what the first thing that comes out of their mouth. Oh, they're going to steal your clients, because that's actually what they told me when I, when I sent them my termination letter, when I fired them, because that's really what we did. We fired them, and I'm like, I'm not believing that, because I already know that we have to fight for our customers, because not only are the lenders trying to get your customers, but I'm competing with you guys too. You're my competition. You're trying to, people, the local loan officers in my area, of course, or whatever. But you get the point, right? If they're your customers, make them your customers, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest myth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched Pablo at the Brokers Brawl back in Vegas. I think, Andrew, I feel like I did a better job. Like, he was so scripted up there. He wasn't using all these words, but I feel like I got the most out of it. And look at him. You didn't follow anything we said back there. All good.
I said I was going to keep it a
You
little.
did not. We talked about it. I said, man, I'll drop you off to the airport. You don't have to Uber. Can you just make sure we keep it clean? But
I'm sorry.
here we are. You got it. You're going to get an Uber now. It's all good. All right. Any final words, like maybe advice? There's a lot of people probably are thinking like, man, if you guys can do it, we want to do it. Anything you want to leave for brokers, potential partners, potential family members, because it's not just professional to us. I've been in this business on this side for the last 10 years. It's more than just transactions. It's more than just numbers. It's about how do you develop relationships that will last for a very long time. You talk about GRE showing up to North Carolina, spending time with you guys. It's that's what it is to us. So any final words or advice for folks that are thinking about making the flip to Rocket Pro?
I would definitely say we had a great aide. Now we have a family of people where I recognize and get a chance to interact with them. That's been incredible. And so I would say don't wait. You know, if you want to wait another year just to give it a try, if you're on the fence, this is a great place to be. So.
Yeah, and I have to agree. I'm a very, once you're my friend, and even we're working together, and at the other place, I just felt like everything was transactional, and like I'm only here because I'm being paid to here. And Tem, too, I've known even before all that stuff happened. She's always been a friend, and I just want to feel like I have a true partnership, that I got people behind me, and I'm gonna help you grow. You're gonna help me grow through your resources, through our feedback, through that whole process of closing more and more loans. And that's really what we want. And we were with them for since 2016, 17 in their early years, when I think they were a much better company. I think they morphed into something that I don't even understand. And so, the time came, we're here now, and I feel that this is are going to be our home, and it's a great place for us to really grow and restructure ourselves so that we can take on the future, as the broker channel, and not let one company think that they own everything and then they can direct it and control it however they want, So it's our channel, we own it, us as loan officers.
Well put.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bo, good. All right, well, gents, I appreciate you. I promise you, when we think about what you did and the decisions that you made, we're inspired. Sometimes it's not easy to make such decisions, but we're inspired by you. We respect you. We appreciate you. And if anyone out there is thinking about having a conversation, would love to have a conversation with you, would love to show you what we can do for you, but more importantly, would love to put you in a position to win and be truly an independent mortgage broker. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you all.